Let me do that. Okay, great. Disclaimer. Thanks, everybody. Let's kick it off. Live on a Friday, 1 o'clock afternoon here, real casual. Listen, I started doing this a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to make a habit out of it just to communicate with Harmonic Trader Basic members and other people that are new. Had a great stream last night with Mitch Ray TA. Please check him out, and he's doing great technical analysis work. And we had a long opportunity. I know a bunch of you folks are from him, are here. So again, welcome. And just the best place to connect with me, everybody, is to go to harmonictrader.com and click on register now, become a basic member. And as I'm saying, I'm making today's sessions probably a regular thing, a part of the basic membership. And then you just sign up with the email. And just really quick to show everyone where to get those resources I was mentioning last night and I've referenced before, is that you just sign up with your email, become a basic member, and then all of the books are available on a PDF right on this basic member page. So click on all of those. I've showed that before, but for those that haven't seen it previously, check that out. Then the other thing is take a look at the videos, stuff that we have talked about over there with Mitch and some other sessions, and then get the software trial. So the software of what I'm going to show today, of both versions, the HPC Lite, that's for TradingView. We also have it for Thinkorswim. And then the Pro version we have for MetaTrader, eSignal, NinjaTrader, and Sierra Charts. I really like the eSignal because the data is excellent. So let me start off, and I know we've worked a lot in the cryptos with the TradingView platform. And just let me say, for those that are interested that you haven't taken advantage of this or would like to try it, send me an email to harmonictrader@harmonictrader with your TradingView username. Please, only one trial per person, but happy to give everybody a 14-day trial to get all of the tools that I'm showing you here. I would say if you're really new, take a look at the books and the webinars for a week and then get with the software. The other free trial is with the full version, and I think MetaTrader 5, I wanted to kind of highlight this. Click on the MetaTrader link, and we have MetaTrader 4. We also have MetaTrader 5, and there's I'm going to do a dedicated session because I have found a really good broker that features free currencies, I think most of them, and you can get set up with the full scanner and everything for MetaTrader 5 that has all of the tools I'm about to show you. So take a look at that material. Again, really just a lot there that the only way that I can even really educate and enlighten people about the tools and the techniques is just to spend a little chart time. I mean, you have to be there, watch the patterns unfold, but no doubt, once you see the framework and you see some of the finer points that I'm going to highlight today, I think it gives you some really clear variables on top of standard technical analysis to make great decisions in any environment, effective understanding of those movements that are short reactions versus other situations where we have larger confirmed structural opportunities, confirmed support, confirmed resistance, and how to handle that. Something that I started highlighting on my website and talking to members about is how to look for and how to generate alerts on TradingView. And really quick, I want to show just the alert feature here and how to set that up. We have right now you just open the interval for what you want. We're still exploring how to expand this. I think every alert has to be set up individually for the moment. I'm sure this is going to improve because this is a relatively new feature, but it really helps to define those situations when the markets move too far too fast. In this instance, I think everyone's looking for opportunities to buy Bitcoin on a retracement. So one thing that I've been looking for, or one way to do it, is to set up HSI signals. For me, HSI, Harmonic Strength Index, that is our proprietary indicator. We do use relative strength as well. But I want to be signaling and getting signals that put me down in here and here for the opportunity. And with the new alert feature, and again, this is relatively new, just in the last, I think, 2 or 3 months, they really got this rolled out. We can do it. It makes the job a lot easier. So add the alert, right click on the chart. The longer term time frames are pretty good. As I said, 1 hour, 4 hour. And then you can select the variables of the indicators. HSI arrows, really simple. We can get an up or a down arrow once that signals, that tells you, okay, really it's reached that oversold extreme point. So once that's formed, you can select that. You can do that for amplified RSI, and you can do it for the indicator as well. I'm going to probably show some more advanced strategies of some alerts to set as we get further along. But just the basic alert function, I think, is a great way to go, because once you get that alert, then what do you do with the trade? What are you looking for? So that's kind of the two-part for today that I want to get into. But really quick, just want to highlight that this is a feature that we have on MetaTrader as well, and Sierra Charts, some of the other programs where you can have automated alerts sent to you for all of this information, so you're not scanning all day long. So on that, for that alert function, you can, if you're at your screen or you want to send it to an email or text, bang, put all that in there and create the alert. That's just a warning that the data might not be exactly what the trigger is, but that's all right. And set that up, take a look. There's a lot of how-tos on TradingView of how to get the most out of that if you want to send it to your phone or what have you. I personally, for me, one of the things that I want to look for and I want to see are not only the HSI oversold signals, but then we want to have patterns in that area. And let's jump over really quick. Let's jump to right now, actually. Let's look at the current situation, S&P. Something I really like to talk about, stuff that's happening as it's unfolding. I think that kind of before after effect is and what you can learn from that is really good. Right now, there's ES. We're sitting in a pretty big zone, bearish zone, that has dictated the last 24 hours. And this is a great example where we can trigger the overbought, oversold. We can trigger an alert, a pattern completion, but then what? What are we looking for from that point forward? And that's where I want to kind of go from the alert to the action. And again, a lot of what I do is to hone down the zones into actionable levels. And a lot of times we don't get actionable signals. We might have a great pattern, but that actionable level, or that trigger, as I like to say, comes in on a delayed later after the pattern completes. Here is Nasdaq. This is from this morning, and we've got a bat pattern right now. I thought this was pretty interesting. This morning, this is what I was looking at right before we came in today. Actually, I took a short right there on the check back. And I thought this was timely for what I wanted to talk about today, because here is, let me blow up the completion. So tough to see that bat pattern. It looks like the bat pattern completed here, right? but actually no. And there's something going on here that I want to show, that starting with the pattern completion, that for a lot of people, I think shifts their focus. Oh, 1 second. It shifts their focus in the right area to understand what to look for. And again, a lot of this falls into the reaction, the reversal framework, type 1, type 2. In our software, if it's TradingView HPC Lite or if it's this eSignal HPC Pro, our pattern is it's really denoted by the sun icon. Okay, and for everything that I do, and it, no matter if it's a software or manually measured, every harmonic pattern has to have one individual bar that hits all of the numbers and finally marks the completion of the pattern. But the opportunity, that's not where the execution occurs. The opportunity occurs to the right of that pattern. Again, fits in with type 1, type 2 framework. Also, so if we get some kind of alert, let's say you set up your alert for a pattern completion, or you set your alert for some kind of oversold or overbought extreme as looking for the reactive move with the pattern, we're then looking for really one or two specific actions. This one had it this morning in both instances, and again, here is the first move that we typically look for. I really covered this last week as well. The first reaction down to target 1, which happened. But take a look. The one thing that I'm always looking for is this HSI arrow. This is our primary confirmation. And again, the pattern and the indicator confirmation are what make a pattern an actionable opportunity. It's that combination. So for us, the sun icon and then the arrow are the two things we need to see to have a valid execution. So then where do you execute this? Because and we know that's only a reaction. This is a day trade reaction opportunity. Your 886 is at 13,742. Your first target 1 is at 712, 30 points. But take a look at what happens. And this is really important because everyone is trying to get in on the pattern at that optimal point where we go from zone to target 1. That's our reaction phenomenon. That's what happens when harmonic patterns. I think that's the one thing that attracts people the most to harmonic patterns, is you do get this reactive move down. But look where the confirmation comes in. And our HSI, the check back technique, where here it is. This is what we're looking for. This is the bottom indicator. That's HSI. So we alert the terminal bar. That alerts us that the pattern's over. And you could execute shortly thereafter, but the thing I'm looking for is a specific sequence with HSI and other amplified or RSI confirmation that will give me more strength behind the move, behind the reaction. And that check back happens like this. You trigger here. Going back, there's your sun icon. The HSI will come out of the zone. Take a look. Comes out of the zone right there. Your pattern completed over there. You could execute there, terminal bar plus 1 or 2, and be real happy. But take a look what happens. You still have to come down and retest, do what we call an HSI check back into that zone. And it's at that point where we expect not only that reaction down, but in a specific manner, where once we have that check back, it looks like this. We're immediately shutting down all other possibilities that the price action must hold in here and then go down to target 1. In a very short period of time, I did want to mention that the really easy rule of thumb that I use is just to simply count 30 bars. Once the pattern completes, you look to the right and you start your count, and you've got that creates a time window where that whole reaction should occur within 30 bars. If it goes sideways and does nothing, then you scratch out. Or if it comes down and keeps going within 30 bars, you know it's strong. But within whatever that 30 bar assessment is, that tells you the degree of that reaction. In this instance, your optimal entry is on the check back. You have everything you want to see, but still you only expect a reaction. The thing that I was into just before the session, an hour ago, took a shot at it, was the secondary type 2. And again, the importance of a confirmation variable, I can't overstate it. So this is our type 2, comes back for the retest. It's at the hop level. The hop level stands for harmonic optimal price level. Some of you are asking, is that the stop? Not exactly, but it's very close. It is kind of the maximum limit. It just depends if it's the first time or the second time the pattern's completed. Now, what we're looking for is, again, that same confirmation. Let me show you an illustration of what that looks like really quick. I want to go too much into that, but I think what it will do is really help kind of clarify for people not only the need for a confirmation, but the process. And I think this is something where it shifts people's focus from the exact pattern completion point to then looking at what happens shortly thereafter, and looking at this kind of reactive move where we usually get a retest, pattern completes, we get the retest, we see this HSI form, and then that sets off the larger reversal mechanism. And I do think they are, I call them price mechanisms, because really when you swing from price leg to price leg, at each pivot point there's a process. As you form and create what I call the price construction, there's a process, there's a character to it. And when we see this, okay, this reaction, and then we look for the retest, the secondary formation, okay, now we see not only this HSI, but you have secondary variables here. One of them is this another RSI overbought. This second line here, that's our amplified RSI. That's kind of, just think of it, hypersensitive RSI. And then here's HSI for a third one. So this secondary retest, I took it right at the hop level, but I got stopped out. And I want to show people this because you should be getting stopped out and take another shot at it. Maybe this is another shot. What are we, 130 right now? If this thing gives us another HSI, this could roll over. It's not, there's no confirmation here. Now I took the trade right at 69, 70, and it went down 15 and snapped right back, and I got stopped out probably +8. But it's a common, it's a really common thing that happens where, you know, don't be surprised if you take your shot and get stopped out. In this case, right to your target, really nice. And this one, no, but it's a type 2, it's a secondary test. Not surprised to see this stuff take a little bit more time. Is this going to come out? No. What about a 233 tick? Yeah, nothing there yet. So I'll come back to this in a second. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, Riley. Hey, Mohammed. Yeah, I'll go through Bitcoin. Yeah, last night was really nice. I had a great time. I really appreciate Mitch giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys about some things and some friends and people, experiences I've had, people I've learned from. I really had an opportunity to learn from a lot of great people, and I'm even, you know, privileged to call some of those people still friends that are still around today. So here's the other thing I want to show quickly on the bigger time frame. I mentioned this last week. Here we are on the daily. Take a look at, you know, what we have done. I think we did a live stream a couple weeks ago, and I outlined this. The type 1, bang, down to target 1, and now we're back to the hop level. From a trade perspective, okay, think of it this way. We get alerted that the pattern completes here, but where's our confirmation? And that's where we start looking for HSI. We didn't really have anything that's, we talked about this in our gold members sessions of why this was only a reaction, and that the fact that we really didn't have great HSI confirmation here, that this was only a pause. Now we're back up here. How high are we going to go on this retest? This is, I mentioned this on Monday, that we just hit the 1618. So that's official minimum retest type 2 confirmation. But then that's where we start. We start there and we look to the right. We know, and I've been saying on Nasdaq, as high as 14,365 is our hop level for this daily crab. Look at this. This has been dictating everything since September, October. But now we can focus in on exactly what I've been saying of the need for indicator confirmation. In this case, that's amplified RSI. That's overbought, but still going higher. HSI expanding and also registering new highs across the board. I will jump over to crypto in a second on the TradingView platform and show some of the readings that are breaking out that are showing why things like VE Chain and your Bitcoin and a few others are giving us signs of strength. Because HSI is blasting above the 100 level. Yes, it's overbought, but it's going to take a lot more time and go higher until that registers. Really important. So with this pattern, I mean, we're right here, 13,780, and my target probably end of the month is 14 or close to this hop level, 14,365. Still another 500 higher. A couple of the currencies people requested really quick. Let's go through those and then we'll get to crypto. Here is one of my favorite. I think I mentioned this last week, and now it's really working out quite nice. This is the Japanese yen on the daily basis. Beautiful shark pattern. And look at where confirmation comes in and your check back. Right about there. So we get 1, 2. That's your absolute second HSI, 110.86 on the daily. This just has started, and it's a daily time frame, but I don't expect this to bust above that hop level. Maybe we come back for one more check back, and then I'm looking for the full move down to 106. The shark is completed, and you even have, I mean, you have a prior bat pattern. You know, this stuff loves to go and bounce from hop to hop level. In this case, look, bullish hop to bearish hop. Bullish hop at 104, bearish hop at 110.86. Big stuff here. Again, get with the best platform. I think for currencies, the MetaTrader platform is your best bet to get harmonic pattern collection for the currencies. The same patterns are forming over and over again. And here's the other one. We started off with Euro Aussie, right? Okay, another beautiful deep crab. This is daily, folks. So I think we've all been paying attention to crypto quite a bit. And again, Forex seems to have taken a back seat, but we've got tons of beautiful patterns like this. And we're still, in the early stages of a type 1 back up to minimum 158, 159. So take a look and go through your charts. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these. What was, I think euro yen, probably much the same as dollar yen. Yep. I go to the weekly, sorry. Yeah, there's euro yen. But look, that's weekly. And I'll just isolate, look at the bullish pattern, beautiful bat pattern. Look at your bearish patterns. There's just the framework of the bullish patterns. Euro yen maybe a little bit higher for a full retest to the 886, but I do want to just spend a minute and highlight some of the currency pairs. One or two more. You guys had a really quick in the beginning. A few of you had Kiwi dollar, Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, I think, was the other one I wanted to show that had some bigger stuff here. Aussie CAD on the daily or weekly. Oh, beautiful crab there, but no, right now it has, yeah, it came off that, there was a, look, really nice, and that's showing all the patterns, but really nice deep crab. Let me just clear that up. And if you're ever in doubt, I get, some people do ask me, okay, there's all these patterns going on. Maybe I get confused. I want to simplify it. I recommend if you just want to spend your time looking at deep crab and crab patterns, that's a great way to go. Because the 1618 is a phenomenal overshoot structural number with confirmation. It's fantastic. That's what we do. That's really the essence of what I do. Here you have, terminal bar, bang, pattern complete, there's confirmation. In this instance, this is the kind of thing we always want to see. 1, 2, and 3. Triple confirmation. These are things we can do alerts on. I'm going to bring, one of the things I will be bringing is an automated triple alert function, so you don't have to set it. It'll be a different icon, and that's some of the stuff I've been working on personally. Again, with the alerts, they depend on the platform, but if you go, again, just set it up. You can do that for TradingView, and just right click and put your variables. Again, there's TradingView, just add alert, and you can add them all. You can add amplified RSI. You can add all of those, multiple ones to have multiple readings. So let's jump into let's jump into crypto. Coincidentally, there's VE chain, folks. Look out, right? If you're lucky enough to be in that, congratulations. And I've been calling that one for a while. I never got my Binance stuff together, so whatever. I mean, I'm okay, but remarkable, and still following type 1, type 2 frameworks. And in this instance, take a look at what's happening when you don't have confirmation. Again, here's the last pattern on what's that 4-hour on Bitfinex. This is VE chain. A lot of you are asking about it. What do you do? First, let me just go over the type 1, type 2 dynamics. So when you see another pattern, especially with harmonic pattern collection in the cryptos, it seems like these are doing more of that phenomenon, the reaction reversal, than I even see it in equity markets. And here is exactly that. We have our sun icon, then the arrow. Okay, so we might have a beautiful pattern and it's great. And again, another, we could all just look at this range and say, oh, this is really strong. Look, VE chain, of course, everyone knows is a great crypto. It's just going to keep going. But we need to have an idea. And so if we think it's going to be a strong breakout, we assume a minimum 1618. But when we get to that 1618, we better respect it. As Mitch says, respect the TA of how that works. Maybe I would say respect the HT when it comes to patterns of reaction reversal framework, because here is that exact thing. completion, confirmation, and then reaction down to target 1. And now what? Look, we do the pause. Not a bad pause. I mean, that's almost a full 20% correction. 2 cents doesn't seem like a lot, but not surprised. And I'm not saying you have to sell or short, but what I'm saying is be aware of that you're not surprised to see that consolidate. But now the fact that it hit target 1 and it's skyrocketing, that's more of what you want to see. This is something where a perfect example of bearish patterns only giving us pauses in strong uptrends. This is a 4-hour chart. So, great deep crab pattern. Really nice, but just a reaction. Explodes back for the larger retest, and now it's just going to go. Where is confirmation? Nothing there yet. And that's what you want to look for. And once you get beyond that, those upper levels, you're retesting. It all depends on where the confirmation, where does the indicator reverse. HSI hasn't even hit. Amplified is expanding. This amplified RSI, this is just like RSI, but it's, we've tweaked it out to make it a lot more sensitive and show us the extreme formations. And that's just going to continue. And the other thing that when you see that kind of blowout, you go up. What's the higher time frame telling you? What's daily? Yikes. Daily, it's just expanded back into the overbought. That is about as strong as you can do. So this is where continuation occurs dramatically. Just like in this past, look, this just turned up right there on amplified. That's like back here and here. And the corresponding price is just a nice continuation. Let's look at a couple more. Okay. Tronald Dumps, love the name, hilarious. He wants to look at Doge. Many of you know I was well in front of that big Doge move at a half a cent or 3/4 of a cent and took it to 7-8 cents and rode that a few times. And I'm ready to ride. I have a chunk. I have been trading this. I got back into this, I mentioned a little while back, and I'm still holding, like a 7-figure coin position. No joke. So it's considerable. I know people think Doge is a joke. And there's a lot better cryptos with better technology than this. But as a coin and as a payment adoption, kind of a network effect thing, it has a lot going for it. From a harmonic perspective, I've seen a lot of great patterns. And let me show you a couple on the hourly or even 4-hour. Take a look at, remember the correction at the end of March, right down at 5.2, big deep crab pattern, basically putting a floor here at 5 cents. Recently, we had an ABCD pattern. Look, did the reaction. It did this reaction. There's your, it's perfect. Look, terminal bar sun, red bar, that's confirmation, does the reaction, comes back, explodes through on the second retest. Look, if this was going to be really bearish, this would have hit the hop and it would have rolled over and we'd be lower. But this thing is resisting that pattern, that structure, and I think we did have just last night with 30-minute. Yeah, here's another crab pattern. Okay, so keep an eye on Doge because one of these days we're going to come back and we're going to give us a type 2. And then I don't think it's going to look back. And we've been doing a series of these patterns over and over again. Okay, nice ABCD that marked a temporary top, comes all the way back down, but that's about it. Keep an eye on this. I don't think, look, this 5.5 level on Doge going forward probably is going to be a floor. And my projections on that, and again, flat out measurements, this is this big thrust. Look, if that was just a thrust and was going to fail, that would have come all the way back down. Now, there's really just two areas I'm looking at. If you want a crazy scenario, it's 20 cents. That's the 314. I think that's possible, but we're not going to, maybe it's not totally straight shot, but we will run and just do another 1618 up to about, what's that, 12, 11 and a half? Yeah, call it 12 cents or so. I think that's a crab pattern in formation, guys. Yeah, yo, shout out to Mitch Ray in the house. What's up, Mitch? But absolutely. Yeah, I mean, look, Mitch does great stuff with the wedges and standard TA, and then he piles the patterns on top, which is exactly what I would do. For me, I stick 99% to the patterns and the measures because I really wanted to distill it down to a price level. But yeah, clear wedge, clear, take away your drawing, and you just draw some simple trend lines. I mean, this is just riding the wave of allocation to crypto. And that's it. I don't have to make any apologies for it if it's a joke or not. People are piling money into that. So and again, that's got really strong support developing that once that does another thrust up, it's going to be too late to get into it. Maybe literally get another chunk of 1 million Dogecoin and hold it. Seriously, guys. I mean, I'm like holding. I will share this with everybody. I had 5.5 million Doge on the first run and caught it. And I think it's another situation where I don't, that for me, I just had a bunch of things line up. It was phenomenal. But if I was still holding that 5 million, maybe then I just become a hodler of Dodge and it goes forever and I never have to trade a thing again. That's not how I play, though. I had to take my profits and I rolled that over a couple times. But now I'm back in where I've got signals. And it is definitely, yeah. So take a look. And again, the other thing that I've discussed before is this increasing kind of retest our RSI condition. We need to retest the all-time high here, and that's about 8 cents. We have a really nice complex structure on the daily. Even the weekly, I think, came down to the 50 level. There you go. Weekly did not. But the weekly is coming back into the zone. And that's something that Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing as well that I'll probably talk about next week, is this expansion back into the zone. It's a difficult read. It's not easy because you look at that overbought reading and you think, okay, that's about it. But actually, if this trends and just stays in the overbought reading, which it should, that's a sign of where it continues higher. If you go to Bitcoin, here you are. This is I continue to outline this. It almost happened 2 weeks ago where this complex structure came out, but it didn't register officially and it went back into the zone. That's one of the reasons why I'm still okay with Bitcoin, because the more it stays up in above the 70 line on amplified RSI, the stronger it will be. And the other thing that I see here, folks, is we have another smaller complex structure happening. I talked a lot about that last week of when you see that, okay, and this decides to stay up in the zone and then come down, well, price will continue in the predominant trend. And this is just going to be a corrective structure that will spend more time in that overbought, eventually come down to the 50 and rock it like that. But it's all still up. I mean, there's nothing here that would say to me, okay, that's it. We had this. Check out this. All right, I want to update the big pattern. There's 2 or 3 big patterns actually, Bitcoin. There's a 4-hour ABCD, high level ABCD at 5,300, 53, excuse me, 55,300 that completed a couple days ago. That's an important high level pattern. Why? Because we do have a very interesting Gartley. I talked about this last week as well. This is auto-generated with the software, so it's just showing me where the exact ideal levels are. Yes, it could be traced out maybe a little bit differently, but what I look for are the patterns that tell me, one, we looked at that reaction, came down to target 1, back up to target 2, okay, at the hop at 59. We're responding off that level, but now we have a bullish pattern up here, and we're getting squeezed. The one reason that I was talking about last week that I wasn't too concerned was because of the fact that ever since that pattern, well, look, we're well beyond 30 bars. I mean, it's talking hundreds of bars here where we are just consolidating between that top range and target 1 in the big scheme of things. So this pattern is starting to lose its kind of power, if you will. And here is the exact type 2 retest right here, starting right basically at the hop level. And now, actually this afternoon, and what we're looking at this instant is our first HSI. That is this Harmonic Strength Index actually did give us a nominal overbought reading. Again, I'm not too concerned. I think there's nothing else linking up with it, amplified. There's not an RSI. So again, maybe a temporary pause here, but that's all we're seeing. And again, this kind of analysis, understanding how patterns should unfold and where the confirmation comes into play once a pattern does complete, helps to kind of understand, all right, how strong could it be and what's my optimal entry level. For this, if I'm looking at this pattern and I'm looking at this whole scenario, and we'll see how we do when we come back next week, let's see if we get a retest. One more retest of that ABCD, and then we go and we lift off like that. I think that's, a lot of things developing there where Bitcoin is just doing a massive pause here that we will eventually break out above this. The fact that we just formed that pattern last night is a great sign. The other one that, again, showed us a lot last week was Ethereum. And another one just doing a pause up here. The reason why we're not busting out is we do have a measured ABCD right at around 2,000, psychological level 2,000, and this is a 4-hour chart, but we do have an amplified bullish reading. That's unusual. That, for me, that's another signal that there's a lot of buying up here, and you see that. Look at the pattern. Look, we get alerted right here that the pattern's completed. And we could set the alert. I mean, bang, you add the alert, blah, 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 as I showed you guys before. But look what happens. Even if we draw our eyes to here and we go to the right, simply sideways action for more than 30 bars, that's starting to lose its strength. And certainly we break out the new highs, which I expect we will do. That should get us going. So for everything you see with the harmonic patterns, bearish harmonic patterns, respect them on the first instance. Look for that confirmation. There should be a sequence that occurs, but usually just a pause there. So I really think it just take a look at those structures. Let me one or two more that I really do like. I mentioned this in our group yesterday. And yeah, Mitch, you mentioned this last night. OXT. Okay, Mitch's been all over this. I have talked about this since November, and I did a video. Let me see if I'll post a link to the video back when this was about 22 cents, and I was looking for 110. This one is definitely building, but look at the patterns. Okay, patterns left and right. Huge bat pattern, bang, nice accumulation up, really nice surge. And now we have another Gartley back to back. We're hitting resistance right now around 83, but I will look at this and I expect the larger launch pad to come back, retest XA, and then go. All of that is, setting up that. Go to your daily time frame. Look at that chart on the daily. That's really strong, folks. And you're not going to see the patterns. You're not going to see it if you're looking at the daily. You got to break it down, but realize that there's a lot of opportunities in all of this up-down action. There's a lot of opportunities materializing. Again, that versus that. And the red line, that's your daily uptrend. So we come back when we retest the daily uptrend, and then you go off a type 2 retest to the Gartley. Yeah, a lot of, just so many of those things that we've seen. Here's another one, OMG, another big one that's already run, almost doubled. Okay, I'm not saying jump on it right now, but pull up like a 30-minute chart. Look for your pullbacks. Look for, patterns. There was a great crab pattern on the 30 that kicked it off. So what's Matic? What's Matic is, let me see. Oh, I'll do Aave for you too. Here's Matic USD. Let's quick. This is like that Anchor. I'm in that Anchor. Anchor is a lot like Anchor, isn't it? It just came on Coinbase. Well, some of these that came on Coinbase, yeah, they're going to take some digestion required. Cardano is one of them, one of my bigger ones and biggest ones, and it's just a lot of digestions after the Coinbase pop. I bought it after the pop, but it's still just going to take a little bit more time. But I like that one. Maybe there's a better feed. This is also, again, why you want to look at multiple crypto feeds. Yeah, that's not the greatest. Let me take a quick look at, where's the TradingView? Yeah, there you go. TradingView usually has one. TradingView does a nice composite. Yeah, I mean, that's way up. It's amazing. That's incredible. I will say this though, okay, yeah, take a look. This is a real simple technique I've been highlighting where when the red line goes on for us, that's our complex structure. And at a minimum, we look for consolidation. So when that triggers, you're not surprised. You don't never, the FOMO thing will kill you, but it's not a bad idea to put high flyers like that on your radar and wait for the pullbacks like that. So Matic setting up for a pause here. Is that about it? About 36, maybe 33 cents? And then we do a continuation, possibly. Keep an eye on that one. One or two more. Aave, here's Algo. That's just a matter of time before that goes. I think I did mention that. Go on. There you go. Yeah, there's a couple of patterns just in the last week. Look, and again, the type 1, type 2, just over and over again. Type 1 on Algo. There's your reaction. Even though it went higher and still comes back to go back to retest your XA. So if you're looking for the bigger moves in crypto with the patterns, they are coming at the secondary test in most cases. That's why. And here you are, you're on your way back up, probably retest the hop at 150 really soon. Aave, I know you were looking for that from the very beginning, so Aave, Kraken's terrible. There you go. Look at that. Aave. Type 1, reaction. And again, good one for today's kind of subject matter that we talked about where, okay, there's the terminal bar, the sun icon gets alerted, and there is your confirmation arrow with HSI right after the fact. But I'm still looking for the structural retest. There's target 1. What was that at 374? Didn't hit it quite yet, but I would still look for a secondary test. Even in standard technical analysis, with what I see with crypto, the fact that you form initial support and then retest the confirmation, just standard technical analysis concepts are important for crypto. It's really trying to hammer out its ranges, but it rarely is doing explosive, impulsive moves. Here's another one. This is Anchor. Okay, just amazing deep crab down here about 12 cents. That was a sweet one. Don't know. I think I might have to bail out of this because type 1 correction, or sorry, type 1 reaction. Maybe we come back and retest. I don't know. I would love for this thing to explode and do what all those other ones did, because look, here was what I was looking on Anchor. Another one, another high flyer. Waited for it to give me the pullback, and now let's go. Is this going to be a quick bounce or an explosion? I don't know yet, but it's a nice little profit so far. I mean, from 12 to 16. Algo pays interest if you're holding it on Binance. Yeah, I think so, and I think it does that on Coinbase. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here with someone's mentioning Filecoin. Filecoin is another one. Amazing high flyer, 20 to 200, but then it gives us the pullback. And so now we start looking, right? So there's the hourly time frame. You're not going to, I mean, look, if you're trying to buy these kind of moves, then you're going to get hurt. But if you're let that happen and then look for the pullback, okay, let's look in this area. Let's look at okay. Here, even on this last move, we have another complex structure. HSI is overbought, but look, that will give us another consolidation down, and I will look for the retest. We broke out of the trend line. I do know there's a 30-minute pattern here. There's two of them. Okay, yeah, there's a kind of an ugly bat pattern. Back to back. Even this smaller bat's telling me, hold up. Not yet. We'll come back down. There you have you have terminal bar here, and you have HSI. So you have the circle, you have the triangle. That's, you're respecting that as resistance, and even an expectation of a reaction brings you back to 160 on Filecoin. I would love for a full retest of that, like 140 level, and then you go. Oh, not on, yeah, Coinbase Pro. I'll look at that. I'll look at that algo thing. Maybe next week we'll talk about it. Final one, Sushi Swap. I bring this up because this had another amazing, check this out, Sushi Swap. Go to the 4-hour. Okay, got a Coinbase listing, blah, blah, blah. Did the whole thing, huge move up, okay. I don't know Sushi Swap, but I know there's patterns. Where was sorry, let me go to, I don't have the right feed. I know that at 14 bucks, there's a couple of big patterns. There you go. So we have this, what is it? Bat pattern, a couple of patterns here. ABCD and the bat pattern. All of this retesting these lows. and that's at around 14.15, 14.40, and we've had our 1-2 already. We're actually in the secondary one. Now, I want to point this out that, look, nice blast, but bearish pattern. So it comes back for the retest. Another bearish pattern, another bearish pattern. Okay. But if this breaks out, and let's look at this probably by tomorrow or this weekend. You know, if 3 bearish patterns only give you mild reactions, this is going to terminate, hold that low, and then we go. And I think that's, that's how you have to look at this. It's just you're letting out a lot of the steam before the next run. I do like that one. I took a couple shots on that not too long ago. So I like it for this kind of a scenario where, look, you did your first crash move, big thrust back up. We get a pause, and then we do another move up. I mean, you have to have price construction to get anywhere. Even Binance Coin is as one of the greatest moves in the crypto space. I think Binance Coin is phenomenal. It still goes up and down. This one, again, there's your 1618 right there at about 21.50. Once we get through that, and think of it just as like a type 1 reaction to a 382, which is right there, exactly at what, 13. The 382 is like 1350, something like that. Do a 382 reaction and then back up. The more you guys look at this kind of, I think if you become acquainted with not only the M and W formations, but the type 1, type 2 framework, you're going to be able to have a better insight of how it unfolds. And then you mix standard technical analysis, which gives you the larger framework, definitely. So let's just take last look at Nasdaq here on the daily, and we're now up 40, and continuing higher in the face of this bearish pattern. And I want to highlight that again, come back to Nasdaq and look at this 1-2 framework as an example of how even in the strongest of, a beautiful pattern like that, we're in a very strong market, and all the signs that are showing that, okay, are telling us you stay with that trend until we get other bearish signals or we hit that hop level. I mean, we're now what, plus 42 for the day, and I think we go to 13 for today. I think we go as high as 13,830. There's a 1 minute deep crab up here. Yeah, we're about to run another 15, 20 points right now, folks. So I got a lot more to get after, and I will share that. I think next week what I want to feature is the MetaTrader 5 platform that has all the cryptos, because it has the scanner, and that I think that's going to help a lot of people too. I'm really kind of getting into what people need, and I think a lot of it will help when I show you the scanner on crypto and how we do more with the alerts. But check out TradingView and check out their alerts. They've got a whole tutorial. It's really easy. Just right click, add the alert, as we started with today. The rest of it we'll get into next week. But thanks everybody. Really appreciate having everyone here, and I hope to make this more of a regular thing every Friday. Kick back. If you have any questions, reach out to me at Harmonic Trader at harmonictrader.com. Go over to harmonictrader.com, become a basic member, and start with the books. If you're brand new, start with the books and go through the videos. And I tell everybody, take a couple of weeks, take a week or two, and get acquainted, and then start working with it. There's a lot here going on, but you're learning a really in-depth skill and strategy set to read the markets from this harmonic perspective. So I hope that helps. It's been enjoyable. We'll catch everybody next Friday, okay? Thanks again. Have a good one. We'll see you.